So as your college career was starting to wrap up, were you thinking about playing professionally anywhere? Was that a prospect for you at all?
Yeah, and funny enough, I used to joke with other girls on the team, when they would say like, "Oh, like senior year, and that's it. That's like the last year of basketball for us." And I'm like, "How can you do that? Like, how can you have a scheduled retirement day? Like, that couldn't be me." And my goal all along was to finish college and either like go play overseas or go back home and play, for my club or a different club and like, play professionally. But it was always the goal to keep going and keep playing more. And up until senior year, really, that was the plan. I'm gonna finish and got my degree and everything, and it's time for the next thing. And then COVID happened.
Mm.
Um, End of my senior year, right before my senior year ended, and that's kind of when things changed for me, and changed in terms of like it changed how I think and changed my perspective of how I view things. And during my senior year, also, I was doing my first year of my master's because I finished my undergrad in 3 years. So I started my master's during my senior year. Um, and kind of like I wasn't sure if I'm gonna finish my master's or not because I was gonna be done with senior year and then like go back home or go overseas, and chances of finishing my master's was kind of low because I would have to stay an extra year. But then COVID happened, and I got trapped in the U.S. I
Hmm.
couldn't leave, so I was there. Like I was like, okay, like I'll finish this year, like end of my master's and stuff. But it kind of was the time that forced me to think about what do I actually want. Like I always had that notion of like, okay, next year I'm gonna play this, and next year I'm gonna play there, next year I'm gonna do this. But it was always like basketball focused that I I didn't know anything else. And I was like, wait, is this still like I know I want this and I know I love this, but like it's okay to explore other areas of my life too. And I've never done that. It was always, basketball, basketball, basketball. So when COVID happened and there was no more basketball, I kind of had that time to think like, well, what if I don't go overseas, or what if I don't go back home and play? Like, what if I don't want to play anymore? What are the possibilities? Um, so I was like, okay, well, at least I'm gonna stay for that fifth year to finish my master's. It was a 2 year program. So to finish my master's and then like decide after that. And I mean, it was the pandemic anyway, so nothing much was going on.
Hmm.
And then by the time I finished my master's, I had like I really wanted to, like I was like, I've devoted so much and so many years of my life to basketball. Like I feel like it's time to, explore what else is out there. Like I want to have a career. I want to use the masters that I just put my heart and soul
Sure, sure.
into making something, out of myself besides my sports career. So I made the decision and like stayed in the US, and I was like, I think this is it. Um, and it was the hardest decision I ever had to make. Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah. What was that transition like from, all basketball all the time since you were a kid to, I believe you started working in corporate America, things like that. What was that transition like? And did you miss the game?
Yeah, it was hard to say the least. It was went through like an identity loss phase where I just did not know who I am if I'm not playing, like I all my life I was programmed to like, even introduce myself. Hi, I'm Stacey, like I play basketball. Like hi, you don't know what else is out there besides your sports identity. And that was huge
Hmm.
because it was just a phase of your life. I mean, even if I had continued playing, there will still come a time where I retire. So like the fact that we just make like sports our entire identity and forget who we are without that jersey or without that ball is scary. So the transition was hard, and also it was COVID at the time. I was still in the U.S., so I did not have a lot of family support or any of that. So it just wasn't it was a very like challenging time. My therapist helped me a lot with that. I'm very thankful for him for that. But it kind of like made me see um, just other areas of my life and kind of like tune into who I am without basketball or who I am
Hmm.
before basketball. And it's like a work in progress for sure. But it was, yeah, it wasn't an easy transition, but I'm glad I went through it because I'm just, I'm very relieved right now.
Hmm. And but you've still found some ways to stay attached to the game. If I'm not mistaken, you did some work with the Brooklyn Nets, or you're still doing some work with the Brooklyn Nets. Can you tell us about
Yep.
what you've been doing there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I did want to stay involved with the game because I was like, it's still a big part of me and brings me joy. So I got into coaching. And that was also when I moved to the city, to Manhattan. I was done with my master's and all of that. So I left upstate and I moved to Manhattan. And I first coached actually at the United Nations International School in Manhattan, and it
Oh
was like
wow.
the girls' high school team. Spent a year with them, and it was a great year. It was like just that my first year of coaching, and then I kind of wanted to do more of the camps and the summer camps and the trainings and like work with like individuals more than like a team, especially like a high school team. It's a lot of work. So through networking and through like a couple camps that I did, I was able to connect with the director at the Nets Academy. And then he kind of like brought me on board and then it was like, like join the academy team and stuff. So I work with them part time. I work full time at a data company, and then I do like a lot of the basketball stuff on the side. So I joined the Nets last summer, part time, and it has been amazing. Like I still involved in the game. I still do what I love and coach like anywhere from like middle schoolers to high schoolers. People are very like passionate, like have dreams and like want to make it to the next level. So it's just nice to like live through them too.
Hmm. And that's awesome. Are you still involved in any way with the Egyptian national team? Do they perhaps use you as a resource for folks trying to come and play ball in the states?
Yeah, I've been actually helping quite a few players over the last like 2, 3 years or so. Like their parents reach out to me, and I kind of like either try to connect them with like coaches there, or they are like talking to someone already, and they're just trying to see like, okay, is this a good school? Is this a good program? Or like some of them, their parents are just looking for some comfort, like they are in that position where they're sending their little daughter to college across the world or high school, and they're just trying to kind of like see what the experience is like. So I have been helping people like that, like when I can or when I have the time or when I'm in Cairo too, and like trying to, be like a useful resource to people in that way.
Yeah, I would imagine that you're probably one of the earlier folks, like you said, to make that jump. So I'm sure a lot of folks are leaning on you for some advice, like you said, the comfort
Yeah.
as well. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking us on your career journey. It's really inspiring the fact that you took this giant
Thank
leap,
you.
across the Atlantic to chase your dreams. And I'm happy that you found some purpose after retirement. I know a lot of athletes struggle with that, but you're still able to stay close to the game in your own ways. So, where can people support the work that you do with the Nets, and where can people find you on social media?
Uh, can reach out to me on my Instagram, email, Twitter, anything. It's just say so Nady, SASONADY. I'm always looking to connect with other folks in the sports industry or like help people where I can. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you're the third or fourth person I've interviewed through that Muslims in Sports Media
Oh,
Slack channel.
awesome.
So it's been an awesome networking tool. So again, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. And it was great meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. Thank you.